Yeah, I'm just doing some art right now. Just wanted to talk to people while I do this. I don't really have a Twitch stream, but it's better for me, I think, because I won't know if you're listening or not. I mean, you choose to listen, and it's like I'm not talking to anybody. Literally, I'm talking to anybody about the video. Anyway,
Manipulation of energy, which is an advanced form of energy manipulation, which can be performed by entities who are of a high level of consciousness, balanced nature, which means that
I just wanted to listen to some, watch YouTube videos with y'all. I feel like it's cool. Make some comments on it as it goes, but it's something about this CERN is they're gonna open up CERN again. We know what CERN is. Trying to create parallel universes, recreate the Big Bang. So I don't know. I just be listening to stuff just to think differently.
there are entities in the Earth planet already who have such technology and who are using to control humanity. For example, consider your own self. If you want to change certain portions of your timeline of experience.
You know what? I'll start this from the beginning.
Hello, my friends. So I welcome you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. And in today's session, I have channeled the Galactic Federation in order to query about certain things which were asked on my recent poll on this channel. And the queries which have been asked are as follows. So the first thing I wanted to know was about is time travel possible? And do elites possess time travel technology? Because I wanted to know if there are elites in the world who possess such time travel technology, right? So this is asked in the session, and they answered about this as well. About everyone is saying that the CERN laboratories they are doing something on the 5th of July, the 4th and the 5th of July they're doing something, right? So I want to know what is up with that? Is it related with something with us? Is it related with the light workers? Is it related with star seeds, wanderers? How is it related? So I have asked about that in the session, and also they have told us about the next Looking Glass event number 4, which we need to be aware of in order to have the possibility of overcoming it. Okay, because in essence what they're doing is they're giving us information about what the Looking Glass artifact, which many of you already know is a device which projects future timelines. So they have described the event number 4, which we can prevent using our awareness. So the more we become aware that this is happening, the more there is likelihood that we can prevent it. So this is what was said in the session, okay? And the other thing that they have talked about is a very important method. Okay, this is a very important method of overcoming yourself. They talk about how we can train our consciousness and we can prepare ourselves for faster ascension into the fourth density or even higher.
You say the Looking Glass is a recreation of the third eye, the pineal gland, which saying that we have DMT crystals in our pineal gland within a small pocket of water, and you're saying the darkness the DMT crystals activate, and so because you're saying the pineal gland has components of what an eye has, you can say eye anatomy structure images. I'm gonna say like a retina or optic nerve. Let's see, pineal gland anatomy. Well, I guess there's not too much detailed mapping of the pineal gland, which makes sense. I mean, you're saying you got the whole brain, but it's just like, oh, there's the pineal gland, but like when you go to look at the eye anatomy, you got all these other stuff like retina, the nerve, all these different components. It's not like, oh, this is your whole head and here's the eye. Just like oh, here's the pineal gland. It's like all the little things that go into it. Seeing the pineal gland has one of these back here, or anyway. So you're saying that when in the darkness, you close your eyes. You're saying DMT crystals, DMT. When you go to sleep, people dreams prophesy. Saying some people say dreams prophesize the future or whatever. But just saying, you ever heard of DMT? It takes you to an alternate reality. We go through that every single night. So you're saying the Looking Glass technology is just it's sort of like a larger pineal gland. Anyway.
And this method, I believe, is one of the methods that even highly awake spiritual masters they use to awake. Okay, right. Because in essence, what they're doing is they're giving us information about what the Looking Glass artifact, which many of you already know is a device which projects future timelines. So they have described the event number 4, which we can prevent using our awareness. So the more we become aware that this is happening, the more there is likelihood that we can prevent it. So this is what was said in the session. Okay, and the other thing that they have talked about is a very important method. Okay, like this is a very important method of overcoming yourself. They talk about how we can train our consciousness and we can prepare ourselves for faster ascension into the fourth density or even higher. And this method, I believe, is one of the methods that even highly awake spiritual masters they use to awaken fully. And it's a wonderful technique. It's simply using our consciousness, and they describe how we can use that in the session. So before the session begins, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for liking the video and enjoy the session, my friends. Here it is.
He's a channeler, so you see, he's like.
We are the Galactic Federation now, communicating to this channel from the inner domain of the silence within the self. Our communication is now occurring from our location in the planet referred to by your people in your vibration sequence terms as Saturn. We greet all of you today for the purpose of answering the queries that are found in the mind space of this instrument. We shall now address certain queries which are in alignment for the purpose of providing greater clarity to your people at this time. We are communicating from the level of density referred to by your people as the later sixth density consciousness, and we must warn each one of you to use extreme discernment of the mind, the body, and the spirit. For discernment is a method which is required for any civilization to be given the choice of choosing which type of thought form will be resonated with and will be adhered to. We shall now address the queries. The first query which we can sense in the mind space of this channel pertains to: what is the possibility of a time travel device existing at this time on the Earth planet, and do the so-called elites possess such technology? In this regard, we must state that there is a high chance that the so-called elites of your planet already possess this technology of time travel, which requires extreme ability to control the consciousness of the self. Only those entities who have advanced level of consciousness control can find themselves using the process of energy manipulation to enter into frequencies required for such time travel process to occur, which means that the so-called elites upon your planet, there are many who are currently using the technology provided to them by the Orions. Such technology includes technological devices which were created by the Orions. Many such technological devices provide the entities the ability to enter into different timelines and to affect timelines using the manipulation of energy, which is an advanced form of energy manipulation which can be performed by entities who are of a high level of consciousness balanced nature, which means that there are entities in the Earth planet already who have such technology and who are using to control humanity. For example, consider your own self. If you want to change certain portions of your timeline of experience, you can do so using your imagination complex, which is the closest form factor to the creator. You have to become capable of disassociating your inner voices, which use language, as all the voices which you hear within your mind uses a form of language, which you are capable of understanding. Such language has then been used by the egoic mind for the purpose of using the patterns of language.
I'm sorry, anyway, you say like what do you say?
Such language has then been uses a form of language, which you use language, as all the voices which you hear within your mind uses a form of language, which you are capable of understanding. Such language has then been used by the egoic mind.
And say like voices in your mind using a form of language. Like my biggest thing about that, like the subconscious mind, is like it's like image based. Just refer back to dreams, or like you think of something and there goes the image. Like you're imagining it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes I feel like that's where he's talking about, like form of communication, and we use by the ego mind using the patterns of language, because it's like, see the images, even you feel a feeling, and sometimes a feeling doesn't even have a shape, a color, or in any set like physical object correlated to it. So yeah, then you're saying to use for the purpose of using the patterns, you translate it using language. Just wanted to say that.
For the purpose of using the patterns of language and the use of transportation and understanding of totality, furthering the progress of incarnation and incarnation. As you begin to disassociate your language patterns from your mind space, you begin to become pure consciousness, and you have the faculty of imagination, which then begins to operate in a pure format. This will then give you a great ability to manipulate timelines and enter into timelines wherein there are different possibilities existing. This will allow each entity in this timeline to have this ability of using energy manipulation at this time. Furthermore,
you're saying enter into different timelines. You're saying the simple way of understanding the fifth dimension. You're talking about the fifth dimension is, I think where you get into parallel universes, like the beginning of that. It's like the parallel timeline is simply as, what if I would have done that? What if I would have done this? So you're saying the difference between going left and right. You're saying in infinite reality is like infinite parallel timeline. So saying a timeline exists where you go left, timeline exists where you go right, and so in that way we are answering into different timelines, like so casually, we don't really notice it, but that's just sort of the language that they're using. And I think manipulating energy, simply, I'm sitting here turning my feelings into shapes and colors. This is like manipulating energy, and I don't really know what the message is here. I'm going to art therapy now, which is like the reason why I started talking into the microphone while I'm doing this, because I'm trying to figure out like exactly what my emotions even mean. Like I don't really know how to talk about my art, and I think I'll probably be saying that a lot. But that's sort of just the journey that I'm on. Like I want to be able to tell anybody what this. I like. I sort of got into the habit of like really liking the fact that people see whatever they want to see. So in that way, I don't have to like actually be a part of the conversation. But it helps because not everybody gets abstract art. Not everybody feels it on that level. So if like I can just use words to sort of translate the emotion, like what was my process in manipulating the energy, saying the energy of, I mean, yeah. So just thinking about that, because I know like manipulation is like it's a trigger word in that type of form. And I'm saying that manipulating energy is necessarily bad. You can manipulate something, like you can manipulate something in a lab, or like how I'm manipulating the colors around the page with this tool that say does it. Oh, but anyway, it's like anyway, you got it.
Are different possibilities existing. This will allow each entity in this timeline to have this ability of using energy manipulation at this time. Furthermore, we are now going to state that the elites have been using such a technology of controlling humanity for a large number of times. Since the times of Atlantis, there have been entities who have access to such a technology and have been controlling the fate of the people of such timelines, including...
Alright, so I'm not gonna defend this man the whole time. Like, I mean, just saying defend the point of view, just trying to over and analyze, or like just saying if this is your first time listening to it, I'm just gonna play it through, and like if I have an interesting thought, like then I'll so anyway.
The people of the Earth planet currently find themselves in different situations because of the manipulation of the time travel devices. We shall now address the other portion of the query which pertains to the Looking Glass event number 4, as we can scan. Upon scanning the vibrations offered from the Looking Glass artifact, we are of the opinion that this event, which may happen if there is not enough awareness created upon the Earth planet, at the time of around June, we correct this instrument, July 15, the effects of the activation of the CERN laboratories will be evidently clear, as the CERN laboratories they will activate, and they have been secretly activated many a times by the people who are in control of such a device, which can alter the energy vortex system of the Earth planet. The main activation of the CERN labs, as known by you people, which is destined to happen in the timeline of July 5th, will create massive numbers of energy imbalances in the vortices of your Earth planet, since there is a large number of energy centers within the Earth's planetary sphere. This will then provide the energy vortex to inculcate a different type of evolutionary pattern, which resembles the understanding of realization and the aspects of creation of the type of distortion or energy field imbalance. Such a energy field imbalance can be spotted from afar by beings from higher dimensions, and we can state that the activation of the CERN labs is going to be a direct energy attack upon the Wanderers, the Star Seeds, and other indigo children or indigo souls who have incarnated at this time for a specific purpose of allowing the higher levels of consciousness to awaken within the self. There are greater pathways of alignment within the domain of the inner consciousness. Therefore, we, as the Galactic Federation, are now going to state that the energy systems once created cannot be altered easily. Much like a manifestation once appearing in your life takes a large number of time for it to go away, because your energy systems have attracted such a manifestation or the ability of the timeline in which you find yourself in. In a similar manner, we, as the Galactic Federation, would like to state that the CERN labs, once created, will furthermore have a high chance of blockages within the self, as all blockages within the self will be created within the domain of the mind space, and all creation which is created within the domain of the mind space has the ability of allowing higher levels of reality to occur. Therefore, we must state that the only way to protect from such an energy attack from the CERN labs would be to, firstly, not paying attention to the so-called ceremonial broadcast of the activation of the CERN labs, and protecting the energy systems by using separation of language from the inner self. This can be done by following the procedure of focusing on training your consciousness, as your consciousness can be trained to become more activated. This can be done by focusing on one point of the bodily complex and then changing your focus back to the silence within the throat center. And cycling the focus of attention between different levels of cycling the attention will provide the ability of understanding the nature of reality, and the appearance of the true self shall occur. This is the one aspect which can be followed at this time. Furthermore, we as the Galactic Federation would like to state that the after effects of this will be seen on July 15th, and we have placed this warning to the wanderers, starseeds, and light workers of the Earth planet to use this exercise to protect themselves from such an energy attack. Therefore, we as the Galactic Federation leave you now. Bye.
So my friends, after watching the session, I hope you have gained some understanding about what is said in the session by the Galactic Federation regarding the next event, which is likely to happen on, I think they said is June 15th, right? Firstly, what they have said is on June 5th, there is going to be this activation of CERN laboratories, which I think they're doing it for trying to, use energy as, as an energy attack against all the light workers, starseeds, wanderers, all of us. I think what they're doing is they're trying to, send negative energy towards us, okay? Because many of us, we are already awake, we are awake to what is happening in our world. We don't really believe in what other people tell us. We don't really believe in, the elites or whatever. And also the other thing that was covered in the session was, do the elites have time travel device, right? Technology. I forgot to mention that. So the thing is, they said that the elites, they already have some machines which were given to them by the Orions, and they have the ability to manipulate timelines. So now, my friends, I think many of us, we need to be aware of what is happening. They have technologies which can affect us, affect timelines. So in essence, we can also do that. And what they've said is by entering the space within ourselves, which can be accessed via the training of our consciousness. Okay. The basic thing what they've said is that our language, since we have a language in our planet, it prevents us from accelerating our ascension, because what it does is our mind, it attaches to the language, and our consciousness becomes attached to the language. So we begin to use it in our mind, inside our head, and that way there is a certain type of problematic situation which may arise, because the language is then used against you for judging, for comparing, for thinking about the future, for arguing against someone in your mind. And all of this is happening inside your mind. So the thing is, you need to be extra careful about the types of, words, language you're using inside your, inside your mind, because I believe the ego itself uses language. So I think one of the things is to disassociate yourself from any language inside your mind, which may be a bit difficult at the beginning, but as you train yourself, you'll find you're able to do that. And a simple method is given. I'll describe to you how it works as far as my understanding goes. What they've said is we can use our consciousness to, track different locations. So for example, if I'm aware of this point over here, I will be aware of this point, and then as I breathe in, I will go inside and I'll be aware of the silence within this point over here. My understanding goes. What they've said is we can use our consciousness to, track different locations. So for example, if I'm aware of this point over here, I will be aware of this point, and then as I breathe in, I will go inside and I'll be aware of the silence within my skull. Right. The most important thing is make sure that there is no words, no language. So again, I go to another point. I return back to the silence. I observe if there is any noise or not, right? And then again, I go here, return back. And if I do this continuously, what happens is that I notice that there will be no space for your mind to actually use your consciousness to create, future timelines or past timelines. You will be totally in the present moment. And this is one of those great exercises which we can use in order to break free from our limitations of the mind. So therefore, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this session. And the other thing is what they said is in order to, become more protected in the coming days, because the CERN is being activated, we can use this method, and then we will be protected. So this is what was said in the session, my friends, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Because
Method.
I'm saying, like, what if you, I'm saying, he said you be absent of timelines.
In order to, future timelines or past timelines, you will be totally in the present moment. That, there will be no space for your mind to actually use your consciousness to create, future timelines or past timelines. You will be
create future timeline, past timeline, because we're saying being in the middle state is the power now, and then also it's like you're not thinking. Like, what if I would have, saying your thoughts have an effect on the timeline too? It's like I'm thinking this, I'm saying this, but what if I would have said something else? I could have talked about, the art, 5 seconds ago, and I would have been on a different tangent. So it's like in that way, like the little thing affects everything. And it's saying that the images, the language, it's saying you meditate, right? And it's saying like, well, if you meditate, but the whole point of meditating is to silence the mind. And like, why is the mind loud? It's because of the language. Like we put our feelings and our emotions into words, and then we get tripped up on it. We literally get tripped up on it because we're trying to put it into words so it makes sense. But tell me, that's what I'm saying. How am I supposed to put this into words? I mean, I don't feel like it's finished yet because I don't feel it. It's not like this is a story. This piece of art is a story that I'm writing. Like, it would have been different if it was like that. Like, oh yeah, so he went to the store and it says like drawing, or like this figure here is feeling this, and they're on a desert island. Like if I'm painting that, right? If I'm painting a figure, and this figure there is on a desert island. I draw a palm tree. The water is around the island. Because it's a small island, right? And it's just sand and a palm tree. And they're just in the ocean, right? So that right there elicits a certain emotion, saying you lost at sea, you're being the only one. And it's like, how do you have this dry land with so much water around you? But even so that it's water, it's not fresh water, it's salt water. So it's not, even though it's not dry land, you still can't drink it. So Just imagine, the feelings of thirst, or then a simple some hopefulness with the palm tree, or just that life still survives because you know what I'm saying. There's like no natural water. But this right here, this image that I wanted you to imagine, you know what I'm saying, like if I would have painted the image I just described of the person on the desert island surrounded by water with the palm tree. If I would have painted that, I talked about my emotions like really clear, like the image is stuck out. I know what these. I can name a palm tree. I can name the water. I can name the sand. And the person just being there by themselves in the middle of all that without any respite. That I could put that into words. And then I could tell you what type of feelings that gives off. I mean, this right here, I don't know where to begin. Trying to describe this, I can't really pick out any images. It's just shapes and colors. I'm getting more into lines lately. Maybe my thinking has been more linear. Still, like the shapes or whatever. I think it's I'm more into darker colors and lighter colors combined. So maybe I'm more balanced. Still, overall, it's a mess. And, it's the sort of central theme of my work. Like, I like the mess. I like it. Well, at least I've become accustomed to it. I could just, like, do, like, a big square here, right? And then, is it just fill it in, right? I'm kind of vibing with that, actually. Yeah. Play some music. Yeah, so if you want, you can follow this guy, Sam the Illusionist. I love his videos. Apparently, you heard of the Mandela effect. That's sort of like they're saying CERN caused that. So this whole video being about CERN and their attack on the light seeds, or basically like you're saying you woke, but being woke is different from being conscious, and being conscious is being different from being aware. But then you put all of those together, and then with some other words like being conscious of the universe, being conscious of your inner self, your shadow self, being conscious of your subconscious mind, being conscious of just like I write myself notes and stuff. Being conscious of like I guess God. I mean that's a higher level, but you're saying like so if you want to look up the age of Aquarius, like the age of Aquarius is anyway. So this my homie Etai. You're gonna see Etai a lot, and if we talk regularly, then Etai already. Etai said I could use his music in my videos. I'm gonna be playing my homie's music so I don't get copyright striked, but he has some songs out on streaming. Nice amount of songs on streaming, so I don't know if I will get copyrighted, but at the same time, like this is just my first video, so
Bleed Team.
Take a good long look at what you made me. I become a hollow shell. torture on this side. Take a good long look at what you made me. I've become a hollow shell I'm empty. Send me down a rabbit hole without a bottom to it though, spiraling out of control. I thought you would understand that I can't stick around. I'm headed to the top and it's so crazy, baby. You never saw my side, cause I kept on my pride. I can't keep fighting all my demons, girl, and I thought you would understand that I can't stick around. I'm headed to the top and it's so crazy, baby. You never saw my side, cause I kept on my pride. I can't keep fighting all my demons, girl, and I thought whatever you wanted, shit, I would just buy it. It's hard to stop calling, my world just keep falling. I kept trying to run, but still feel like I'm calling. I put it in words, but I can't be the drawing. Talking about rules, but I just can't comply. Sipping on hot, cause I can't compromise. Price to the high, getting hard to deny. I'm losing my mind, the truth from the lies. I can't feel nothing but up. Run it, I'm running it up. Louis V duffel and it's double stuff. Enough does not equal enough. Don't give a fuck if you want me to stay. Leaving today, baby, what can I say? I got a flight from New York to LA. I'm about to hop right on that stage. Crowd gon' be screaming my name. Everyone know what to say when I'm spitting my flames. Nothing this song feel the same. Running the race and it's like one from Squid Game. Up to the face, but I win games. Fuck all these stand frames. Big body beamer, I whip for the weekend and take out the wraith on a Monday. I thought you would understand that I can't stick around. I'm headed to the top and it's so crazy, baby. You never saw my side, cause I kept on my pride. I can't keep fighting all my demons, girl, and I thought you would understand that I can't stick around. I'm headed to the top and it's so crazy, baby. You never saw my side, cause I kept on my pride. I can't keep fighting all my demons, girl, and I thought you. I can't feel nothing but up. Run it, I'm running it up. Louis V duffel and it's double stuff. Enough does not equal enough. Don't give a fuck if you want me to stay. Leaving today, baby, what can I say? I got a flight from New York to LA. I'm about to hop right on that stage. Crowd gon' be screaming my name. Everyone know what to say when I'm spitting my flames. Something this songs are the same. Running the race and it's like one from Squid Games. Don't believe anymore, you're shallow. Nobody's you who choose to play the sheep and never forgive you. That's for anything, and now you are left with nothing.
The numbers, what do they mean?
Everyone on the time and live the party that was last night. Shawty wanna sip out on my double cup, that dirty Sprite. I don't get up early cause I never sleep. They wanna fuck my life up with a tweet, and they thought I wouldn't peep. How we pull up on that Jeep with no tennis strips, I'm posted up, got penny on my feet. I'm cooking on serenity, I'm higher than an entity. I'm popping chasing ecstasy, and Shawty skin right next to me. Yeah. Bitch, I got the recipe. I just got the therapy. My ops ain't never catching me. I be poppin' hella beans, like that shit my remedy. I'ma be celebrity without catching a felony. I be poppin' hella beans, like that shit my remedy. I'ma be celebrity